Hello, you join me on a ride out. I'm kind of road testing my new tyres, which I will explain the full story very shortly. For at the moment, I'm coming up to Tullington manual crossing. As this is a manual gate, you need to wait, ring the bell and wait for the crossing to be released, which from here it comes from Helpston signal box further up the way, and there's a little cabin there just over there with the crossing keeper in it, who will come out in a minute, and there's a cross. So what's the experience with the new tyres? Well, the first noticeable thing for me anyway is they are thinner than what I had on. So they're more of a commuting and touring tyre than a gravel tyre as such. Does that make my bike more of a tourer? I don't know. So it is a thinner tyre, it's a harder ride, however that's in the pursuit of mitigating punctures. So, because I've got a combination of marathons with the puncture protection in them and slime tubes, which hopefully will have some level of self-sealing properties. So we'll see how we get on with them, really. I've come up here on one of the axes to give it a little try out. A bit of a bone shape. That's to be expected. Harder tyre, thinner tyre. It works. It does work. So what's the story this week then? Well, I made an expensive mistake. So last week I kept getting punctures. I had about 3 punctures in the space of 2 rides, and I figured something's not quite right, and I thought I would try to convert my wheels and tyres to tubeless, because the rims are ready, the tyres themselves were tubeless ready as well. So I bought all the kit, the tape, the sealant, the valves, etc., and I did the conversion. I did the front wheel, that went absolutely fine, at least so I thought. And then I went to try to do the back wheel, and I just couldn't get the bead to seat on the rim. Put extra sealant in and whatnot, and it just wouldn't take. And then by the following morning I checked the front wheel that I'd done, and that had also deflated as well. That had a slow leak that I could hear. So off they come. Tried patching up the back tyre to seal it up. I tried redoing the front tyre, and neither would just seat on. So I took the wheel set to my local shop, and they had a go, and again they weren't able to get it to seat either. So I had to have a think, and I decided, I was talking with the shop owner about what my options could be, and I took the advice actually of the shop and went for a new set of tyres. I think that was basically the initial problem anyway. My tyres were worn, and I think the bead had actually become worn as well. But I've actually gone back to tubed, and what I've gone for is the Schwalbe Marathon Plus, the 40622 size to be exact, with slime tubes fitted as well. Hopefully, touch wood, that should be a bit more of a belt and braces approach to puncture protection. And I've really been kind of giving it the new setup a bit of a field test today to see how I'll get on with it. And there's obviously a few differences because it's a narrower tyre. The old ones were 45s, these are now 40s, and there's obviously that. It's a less soft ride, it's a harder ride. The tyres sit at a higher pressure, they are narrower tyres, but actually I've actually quite liked them. I've been testing them out today. I've taken them along a few gravel trails and what have you, and tried to really put them through their paces. And apart from that slightly harder ride, I've actually found that they're pretty good. They're pretty good. By the time I had the shop fit the tyres, two sets of slime tubes, which in themselves weren't actually that cheap, but they actually sound like a very good idea actually. All in all about £110, which I maybe could have done it a bit cheaper if I'd shopped online and everything, but I do like to support my local shop, and they have actually been very helpful to me in the past. So yeah, I've gone from the Continental connectors onto the Schwalbe Marathon Pluses, and I'm back on tubes after a very brief experiment with tubeless, which failed. The idea of going tubeless isn't completely off the table in the future. However, I've got to bear in mind that I'd definitely need new tyres, because the Marathon Pluses I've got aren't tubeless ready. And I think the rims are okay, but for now I think I'm just going to stick with tubed. It's something I know, it's something I understand. I get that there's benefits of tubeless, but there's also benefits of a tubed setup as well. And if I weigh up all the options, tubed just works for me. So I've been giving this a bit of a trial out today. I've done about 10 miles on them today, and yeah, they work. Having that, the other difference, actually going back a little bit, the other difference is actually the rolling resistance is lower. So I have actually been able to cruise faster on these on the paved roads. So what I've lost in terms of performance on the gravel, where it's a bit of a bone shaker, on the roads and paths and smooth surfaces, it rolls really well. In fact, I think I've maybe gained about 2 or 3 miles an hour in my sort of resting cruise speed, so it's not the end of the world. And touch wood, they will last quite a while. I've used marathons on my other bikes, the Marathon MTB tyres, and they've been fantastic. So really, I should have just gone straight for this option. Yeah, so you can see the Marathons mounted onto the Nova frames. I've been out riding today, so it's kind of a bit dirty. They do need a good clean, but what the hell. Anyway, let's go for a little bit more of a ride, and yeah, I'll be getting home soon. I am actually at one of my local parks, and I do like stopping here. It's just so nice, and it's actually quite peaceful for an inner city park. There is swans and cygnets and that about, and it's just nice to watch the world go by. It's a little bit breezy today, so I don't know how well this is coming up on the microphone on here, but yeah, a nice place to stop.